a perfect pillow for spooning. So stop wasting all your money on these fancy new mattresses and get the pillow that will support your noggin.
Whether you want the ultimate bed experience with the Pillow Cube Pro or the travel-friendly original Pillow Cube, we give you our Pillow Cube guarantee that your shoulder gap will be filled, your spine will be aligned, and you will always dream of tacos. Oh, baby, just look at those hard shells. Dance it out, Pillow Cube team. Buy the Pillow Cube today, and you can join our happy dance. Look at those moves. Work it, work it.
All right. Give me just 1 second. I don't have my chat open yet. Trying to get everything up and running right now. I'm going to go and transition over here while I'm still getting everything set up. There we go. I at least have the camera set up. Let me just grab everything else that's going on here. Hold on. I don't know if we have anybody in the chat yet, but in case we do, I do want to have that open. I was a bit rushed getting this stream started, so I'm like still getting things set up a little bit. Let's see here. That's interesting. 02. Why'd that not log me in? That's fascinating. Apple might be shutting down PhotoStream. I don't know what PhotoStream is, if that's the same as Photos. Something I noticed in my email. I'm trying to get everything in. Let me try that again. Why is it not going through? Oh, that's why. I started using the Brave browser on my laptop here, and apparently, if cookies are disabled, things like Twitch and YouTube will not allow for you to log in. I might have to open up Firefox for a second. Hold on. I'll worry about that later. I'll have to figure that out later on. There we go. There's Twitch. Come on, YouTube. There it is. All right. Now we got our chat open here. There we go. All right. I didn't position all this correctly. Oh, well. That'll work. There we go. All right. We got things up. I want to look at this real quick, too, while I'm getting the project open. I don't know what PhotoStream is, if that's the regular photo stuff, but this is at least supposedly from Apple. Looks like it might be an Apple email. Let me see here. Yeah, this must be some old way of doing things. Apple Photo Stream. I don't really know what that is, but it's saying that now you'll have to use iCloud photos. That's interesting. Oh, apparently this is something that they've been doing for a while. I mean, I don't know if I care that much, to be honest. I've actually been using Nextcloud recently, and that's been working pretty well for me. I have the Nextcloud app on my phone, and I just boot that up. It automatically just syncs all my photos every time I open it up. So I just periodically open it up, and that's it. Anyways, interesting little thing that I saw. Cool. We got the project open. Let me go ahead and transition over here to my desktop. All right, there we go. All right, so I've been working on a few things here. So you may remember I was looking at maybe I should start with some of the things that I've been working on here and there. So you may remember I have been thinking about maybe redoing the dungeon generator one more time with pre-built rooms, given that that's kind of something I have to do anyways in order for this to work. I've actually come to the realization I may need to build more than one dungeon generator for this game because there are some environments that are going to be a little bit more outdoors. And this seems like it might be better for an indoor setting. Now, I've gotten this working. I basically just need to get a bunch of other models together. So the only reason they're going in straight lines is because all the other rooms that I have spawning only have an entrance and exit, even though I have the 4 doors. I just need to set up the rest of the doors. And then this will all work. And then we got corridors. I spent like all of last night and this morning doing that. It was very simple to do, actually. So this is working. I just need to set everything else up. And then this is the end room here. So this one doesn't do any spawning or anything like that because it's going to have everything it needs ready to go. It's going to be one of those pre-built rooms that just has nothing else attached to it. Yeah, so we got quite a few things going on around here. The rest of these, like I said, they'll all get attached later on. I'm going to have different door configurations and things like that. So that's something I'm going to be working on a little bit. I need to jump into Blender later to get all the models going. Now, the thing that we're actually going to be focused on today is going to be the weapons. So, the weapons are an exciting thing. I've been trying to figure out the best way to do this for a little while now because I wanted to do elemental stuff and I want to be able to have like modifiers on the guns and things like that. I definitely want to have some fun with the melee weapons as well. I have a lot of cool ideas for that. Basically all Borderlands style. Just maybe on a milder scale. With that in mind, I've been trying to figure out the best way to do this. So originally what I was going to have is all the weapons are completely procedurally generated. So you have like a custom grip, custom hilt, custom blade, for example, on the sword. Same for the gun. You'd have like a custom body, a custom grip, and then a custom scale that just get randomly selected. Well, I can do this. It's a pain in the butt to get all the models just right. Most people probably wouldn't notice, but I notice like little inconsistencies here and there, and it drives me crazy. So I was thinking about this, and I came up with a better idea. So the weapons themselves are going to be pre-built, okay? So we're going to have a couple different variations of the swords, the pistols, assault rifles, hammers, shields, shotguns, all these different weapons. We're going to have pre-built variations of them. Once we have that, the thing that we're going to be working on today, what I want to do is have it that there's going to be little artifacts that that you can find throughout each level. The weapons are going to be the only thing that you can choose before you enter the Altiverse. So every time you find one and unlock it, you'll be able to go back to your spawn, and you'll be able to grab it, use it, all that kind of stuff. I might even have it that you can grab it and use it right there once you unlock it. I'm a little undecided about that, but I think that would be a good idea. That being said, I still wanted to have a lot of elemental stuff on some of these weapons and things like that. So rather than having procedural elements tied to the guns themselves that are predetermined, what we're going to do instead is we're going to have little orbs. Right now I'm just kind of calling them artifacts because I don't know what else to call them yet. But I don't know that I love the name artifacts, so I'm probably going to end up calling it something else later. And what I'm going to have is each weapon is going to have a certain number of slots that you can then bind artifacts onto to add on modifiers to the gun. So you might have some that alter the way that a pistol fires, for example, so maybe it starts shooting out in a wave. You may have one that you can apply to a sword, and if you apply it, now your sword deals some sort of elemental damage, like maybe now it deals fire damage, and now any enemy you hit is also taking damage over time. I also want to have ice that's going to slow down enemies. Corruption, which is actually going to... I have an interesting idea for corruption where it's basically going to freeze a part of an AI's body for a set period of time. All that kind of stuff. And so I think that's going to work really well. So we're going to work on putting together a few of the elemental stuff. I've started some of them. I think I only have one in here right now. I think the rest are on my laptop right now. Let me see here. Elemental, there we go. Yeah, I only have the fire right here, which fire should work just fine. So we'll work with the fire for now. This is just a component for it that gets applied to any enemy that has the fire effect added onto them. So all it literally does is I'm just going to attach an actor component to the to any AI that get attacked, and then every about half a second, it's going to apply some amount of damage for so many times. Or I might even change this to a time instead of a loop count. I don't like the loop count as much. So I might have like a delta time or something like that. And then once it's reached the end of that time, then it just destroys itself. And that's it. So now we need to create artifacts that can be applied to weapons that will basically add on to that. So that way I can actually use them. So we're actually going to create a new folder here. I want to call this artifacts. So my idea for artifacts is they're going to be something that you can grab and then place on the weapon. So my thought right now is to have basically a bunch of different slots somewhere on the weapon that you can attach these to, or have it so that way you just apply it onto the weapon itself. I kind of like the idea of having like visible slots just because I would like to be able to have players swap them in and out. If they find like one that they prefer over another, then they can just swap it out like that. So let's call this fire. There we go. And we're going to keep this nice and simple. We're going to do, just start out, we'll add on a sphere, which I might need to scale down a bit actually. Okay, and then we'll add on the physics grab component. Perfect. And then I don't think I need to worry about any of that. I do need to work on the two-handed, though. I did forget about that. I do need to go back and work on that two-handed. It's not a priority right now. One-handed works fine for right now, but I do need to go back and add that on. So let's do... How do I want to do this? This is an actor component. I think I may want to make a base class just so I can categorize these a little easier. So let's do this. Do actor component, effect, base. Just save that. And then in the fire, we'll just change this to be based off of the, what do I call it? Effect base. There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right. So it just occurred to me. I made this an actor, didn't I? Actually, no. Actors work fine because I need to be able to grab this in 3D space. So we'll go and create one. Effect to apply. It's going to be an effect base. Actually, I need an effect base class, I think. There we go. Perfect. So once we grab that, let's see, I'm trying to think. I don't think we need any tick. So I'm going to go and turn off the tick as well. Wrong thing. There we go. Okay, sphere. I don't know if I need this to block or overlap. How's my, let me check real quick. I don't remember how my grab is working. Go characters. Graph. I need, that's the locomotion. Turn, here we go. Sphere overlap actor. So yeah, it is using overlap. So I'm going to just use the overlap. Make this overlap all dynamic. Okay. And then all we're going to do is on component begin overlap. Oh, by the way, I did look at the PCG framework. It does, in fact, work on the Quest 2. It actually works pretty well, it seems. I didn't notice any performance drops or anything. I dropped it in, it worked. I don't know that I'm going to stick with the PCG framework, but it does in fact work, which I thought was really cool. Let me see. Get class is child of. I need. I think it's just a weapon, if I recall. I think that's what all these are based off of. Let me make sure. I've made way too many weapons. I forgot to clear all this out yesterday. Weapon melee base, yes. So it's based off of the weapon. Okay, so in that case, we're going to branch off. Perfect. And then we're going to need to grab... Okay, so we're going to want to tie this to the weapon itself because they're all going to have this functionality. Let me see. Function. Add effect. We'll have a quick input for effect base to add base class. Perfect. Let me come back here real quick. I'm actually wondering if maybe these should be attached to the weapon and not the AI. That might make more sense, to be honest. Because then I can just attach the component to it. Actually, instead of doing this, I could just cast too. Cast to weapon. Add effect. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Destroy actor. Because that'll just make things a little bit easier. Because then I don't have to worry about passing it from the weapon to an AI later on. Even though it probably would have been easier, it would have gotten very messy very quickly. Let me see here. How do I want to do that? Okay, let me worry about one thing at a time. Add component. Add component by class. There we go. Perfect. So this one. Actually, I did this kind of wrong, didn't I? This should have been called artifact base. There we go. Okay, now we can put together. Why is it copying? Create child. Artifact fire. And actually, just to make things a little bit easier too, I'm gonna call this effect underscore fire. Try to make sure everything is nice and consistent, so that way I can easily find things. It's not as important right now, because really there's only so many things that I'm using, but this is gonna get really messy later on. Set our effect. There it is, effect to apply. I feel like there should be a way for me to set the variable over there. Is there a way that I can do that? Effect to apply. Category, replication, config variable, Should this variable read its default value from a config file if it is present? Oh, interesting. I didn't know that was an option. Yeah, we'll go and leave that alone then. So this one's going to be effect fire. Perfect. I feel like there has to be a way for me to expose variables to the child's classes. I'm pretty sure there is a way. I'm pretty sure I've actually done it before. Okay, so when we apply the fire, let's change the way that this works a little bit. If I can close that out. Hold on. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I think I may need to actually add this onto the effective base. So we'll do it this way. Add enemy effect. Actually, I think this needs to be an event. I don't think this will work as a function. Convert function to event. There we go. Okay, we're going to remove that. Okay, we'll go ahead and add on enemy. I'm just going to what is my base AI? I don't think it's a standard actor, right? I think it's a pawn. Yeah, it is pawn. We'll use pawn. Pawn. Just occurred to me, I think I left my water somewhere. It's getting a little thirsty and I realized that. Okay, so when we apply this on, how do we want to do this? Hold on. Okay, we'll run an event dispatcher maybe. I think I can run event create event. Hold on. Trying to think of the best way to do this. Timer by set timer by event. Actually, I could do a timer by event, I guess. Let's do that. Set timer by event. Okay. And then we'll add a bunch of these in. Actually, I'm going to convert this. Or actually, we'll do create. Or is it create event? Oh, it was create event. I was thinking of custom event for some reason. Okay, so we'll go and add that into time. It's the initial start delay. We'll go and add that in. And if there's any variance, we'll go ahead and add that in. Okay, so I think I might need to create a struct real quick. It will need to be looping. That's going to be a fact. I know. Hold on. Create a magic function real quick. Enemy effect. Can I add in another input doing this? Fresh nodes. I guess I can't. Hold on. There has to be a way for me to run a dispatcher, I think. Call. I'm trying to think. This makes things a bit messy. Because I need a way to pass inputs in on each one. I basically need to be able to pass in the information for that specific one that we're running. Oh, you know what? I think I have an idea. Okay. Nope, I have an idea. So selected. We'll do... I don't know if this is the best way to do things. I feel like there's got to be a better way, but this is what we're going to do. We'll call this enemy timer struct. Go. Oh, that was weird. Okay, let's go and remove that input real quick. Okay, we're going to create a variable. Running timers. Okay, and we're going to make this a... Hold on. I think it's timer handle, if I recall. Timer handle. Map. This is going to be a map to the enemy timer struct. Timer struct. There we go. Perfect. Oh, you know what, though? There's no way for me to know what timer we're currently running. Oh, hold on. Test. Bind event to test. I'm pretty sure... Okay, so I can't create an event for it, it looks like. Maybe not. Set timer. Let me see. There's got to be a better way to do this. Hold on. Apply elemental image. You know what? I have an idea. I'm so stupid. I don't know why I didn't think just to do it this way. I think I still need this. I won't need a timer handle, but I will need a pawn. Get, add, footsteps still works. I'm still having an auto loop issue after taking the first step. You know, I don't know for sure. Did I do a footsteps one? I don't remember doing a footsteps one. I don't know if I just don't remember it. Footstep. Oh, I did do a footsteps. You know, I'm not really sure if the footsteps tutorial still works. I know it's... I don't know if I'd say old, but I know it's somewhat of an older video that I've done. I mean, I see no reason it shouldn't, but I could be wrong. Sounds good, Combined Potato. Thank you for watching, by the way. I'm having an auto loop issue after taking the first step. By auto loop issue, do you mean that like it's playing consistently afterwards? It almost sounds like maybe you're not stopping it when the velocity equals 0. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Oh, you know what? You're right. The input setup is different now. I forgot about that. I forgot that now there's the enhanced inputs, huh? To be honest, I would probably do it a different way using the enhanced input. I'm watching through right now. I would probably do it a different way with the enhanced input. I would probably have like some sort of looping audio or something like that and have it that way. So using the enhanced inputs, I don't know if I'll try and do just a quick one. Hold on. I don't know if I can do it in a component. Hold on. Just like a quick 30-second. If I were to grab IA underscore right, for example, I'd probably have it so I had like some sort of looping audio that starts on started and then finishes on completed. Basically have it so that way you either set it as playing and stopping. I believe most everything else should work. Yeah, I'd have to watch it through fully, which I didn't really fully do. It's a little bit small here on the screen. But that's roughly what I would do, is have basically just a looping audio that starts on started and then finishes, and then basically silence or stops on completed. That would be like the simplest way to do something like that. All right, so make enemy timer struct. Okay, so getting back to this, effects, enemy timer struct. So time remaining. This would need to be a float. Let's see. Time. What would I call this one? Maybe not time. Loop time. And then maybe, remaining. I'm having a problem spelling today. Remaining loop time. And then, do I need anything else? I would need a damage amount. Apply. Actually, that should be applied to the effect. Any alterations to the damage, I think, should be handled on the enemy itself. Yeah, I think that would be it. And then I want an event dispatcher to remove enemy effect. Actually, I won't be using a dispatcher for that. Actually, I'll just remove that. We'll just use a function. Remove enemy effect. I won't be doing anything in this one for now. I'm just going to leave that. Okay, so an event tick. Let me make sure I do have tick running still. Tick enabled. Yep, perfect. Running timers. Oh wait, hold on. Time. full time. Max time. Or maybe loop time. And that one can go. So that one goes there. Loop time. Loop time goes there as well. I don't know that I need much more than that for the time being. So length. Yeah, we want greater than 0. Branch. Right now I'm working on just a basic fire elemental damage. So I'm basically going to have it so that way when I'm basically going to have it that players can choose where to apply specific effects. So right now I'm just working on like an elemental effect, right? But I'm also going to have other things like I'm going to have effects that, or I don't know that I call it an effect. I'd probably call it a modifier, where basically it'll modify the way weapons act. So for example, I want to have one that'll basically have guns spray out in a range. You know, a little bit more like Galaga style or something like that. I'll have some where it may try and lock onto enemies. I don't know if I will do that one just because that can be a little bit difficult. But I want to see if maybe I can have like a weapon lock on kind of modifier. I think though I may have to have a different actor class for that, or actor component class for something like that. This cable is starting to annoy me. I have my cable keeps sitting over my keyboard. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. So we're gonna get each for get no keys. I don't think it's get. I think it's just keys. Yeah. For each. So once you grab each of these, we're going to grab the running timers. And then I forget what it is for map. Is it find? I think it's find. Yeah, it is. Perfect. Split struck pin. Okay, so we'll get time remaining. Can I decrease this just normally? Looks like I can. Perfect. Let's see, on each one we'll decrement. This becomes less than or equal to 0. Or to a branch. Then we'll call the remove enemy effect. I think that's all we want to do there. Otherwise, we're going to decrease this. Apply damage. I will have a modifier there just because some of that might... I may have some where it's got to happen on each loop. Or maybe it's got to do a little something. So, apply damage. Oh, not that. That is less than or equal to 0, which then gets passed into a branch. Goes into true. In which case we want to set it. Am I not able to just set it here? Set. I guess not. Okay. Let's do it this way then. Recombine. Break. There's our time remaining. There's our remaining loop time. Set Can I not set it? Oh, wait, you know what? I think I know why. Make... No. Make enemy timer struct. I want to pass in that. set or set be add? Might be add. God, that's an annoying way to have to do this. Okay, I think that'll work. Exactly. It's going to be damage over time, things like that. I was trying to figure out the best way to do this because I didn't want to apply just actor components to every single actor. It just seemed like way too much work applying it to every single actor and then having them all get destroyed constantly. So instead, I'm going to try this where basically I have one actor component tied to the weapon, and then that is what kind of determines the damage and everything. And hopefully that'll work all right. I'm hoping it will. And just as a precaution on destroy, let's see, destroy, I think there's a destroy, is there a function override maybe? Blueprint implementable event for when the component ends play, generally via destruction or its actor's end play. Yeah, there. So if it stops, I do want this to end as well. Just as a precaution, I don't think that should ever happen. But just in case, go and remove the enemy damage. Perfect. All right, so on remove enemy damage, the only thing I really need to do is I want to take our running timer. Ooh, get running timer. Actually, I need to pass in the actor that I'm using. On. Okay, so remove, and then we just pass in the pawn, so that's pretty simple. Damage to apply. I'm gonna make that a float. Make sure that's a single. And on apply damage. Apply damage. Is it apply damage or is it add damage? Damage. There is an apply damage. Okay, perfect. Damage to apply. Okay, then the instigator, or no, causer is going to be get owner. And then the event instigator, I will need to know what player is using this. Actually, I guess I really don't need to. To be honest, I don't even know that I really need to pass through the damage causer either. But that should work. So now, what should happen, I should have this artifact. I'm going to go and place this in the world real quick just so I can play around with this. Dropped in the artifact fire. Ooh. I will have to test this on the Quest. I've accidentally broken ALVR on my PC, so I'm not really able to do any testing on the PC itself. I am, however, thinking about switching or trying Arch again. I'm actually running it on my laptop right now. Runs beautifully. ALVR actually works mostly correctly. I think I may be still having some mic issues, but like it almost works like perfectly, and I love it. Alright, I'm going to go and change this to a bright red, too. Do I have any bright red? Hold on. I don't know that I have any bright red. I might just have to use one of my materials. We'll just use a random one for now. Just so I can at the very least differentiate between the two. We'll do purple. I think that'll still work, right? Yeah. I forgot I was in the unlit mode. Lit, unlit. Yeah, it just looks a little bit darker, to be honest. Like, almost everything I'm using is unlit anyways. So, it doesn't really have a huge effect, I don't think. All right. So that's going to be for fire. And then I want to have one for... Actually, maybe I can test this real quick. What happens if I hit simulate? Yeah, there it is. Hold on. I can actually figure out how this falls, and I can see how this goes on. Oh, it went on. Okay, did it get the component? I don't know if it worked. I don't see the component on here. I don't know that that worked. Let me see here. Hold on. I don't think it worked. Hold on. We're going to see right now. Okay, I think it's working. It's not showing up in the viewport, but that could just be an Unreal Engine thing, to be honest. I think I'm going to do this, though, for the fire. There it is. I'm just going to add on... Oh, wait, you know what? This might not be working. Hold on. Let's go and remove all these. I need the parent stuff to work. And I'm going to override the... Apply damage. Okay, we're going to do, I don't want to do this. I want to add some sort of Niagara effect. Or is it just effect? Effect. I forgot how to add on the Niagara effects. Spawn emitter at location. There it is. Perfect. Just spawn a random one real quick. Let's do torch effect. Get owner. Get world transform. Oh no, get actor transform, my bad. Split, location, rotation, scale. We'll have it auto actually, yeah, we'll have it auto destroy. That should be enough for me to at least tell if it works once I go to test it. Hopefully it will. And then I also want to have one. We'll start with one for the gun. This one's just going to be a modifier. So I think I'm going to call this one something different. Just because it's going to behave a little bit differently. So let's see here. Do blueprint class. Actor component. Modifier base. Modifiers. Modifier base. Cool. So let me go and close some of this too. Let's see here. So this is going to deal damage over time. Is it possible to use one of those nodes as a timer to set up the time and duration, then connect another node to just deal that much amount of damage? Keep in mind, I'm just... You could. Here's the... Yes and no. So it kind of depends on what you're doing, right? So, for example, I'm trying to have one component apply it to a whole bunch of different actors at once. So I need to basically modify all those different actors when there's multiple of them. If I was just doing one, I would probably do exactly what you're saying, because you could. That's how I did have it before too. You could have it so that way you just had a timer on an event, and that timer, you know, it does exactly what you're saying, where it'll basically just it'll basically apply damage every X amount of seconds or something like that. And that would absolutely work as well. But since I'm trying to apply multiple of them, I can't, that's not going to be as reliable of a solution, because if I have a timer going every 5 seconds, then it might be that some actors get skipped at the time that they're supposed to go off, and then they're just all having their damage applied at the same time instead. So yeah, technically it could work. It just wouldn't work for the use case I'm currently using. But to be fair, I'm possibly overcomplicating this as well. So, okay, so for the modifier, I think I want to bind this to the fire event because that's what we're using. So, like a Hydra using multiple, it might not work. It would work if I was only applying it to a single actor. So the difference here is I'm basically taking, like, let's say this is the element I'm applying because this is what I'm using. If I were to take this and put it on the sword, right? So this fire, I'm basically taking this and putting it onto the sword. So because of this, every time the sword strikes an enemy, so like I have 2 here, then what I'm doing is I'm now adding this to a list that I'm now monitoring. And so it needs to now it needs to work on a tick. Now, if the other way I could do it is I could take this element and then have it so that way the sword basically attaches it to each of these AI. And so at that point, then I can do a loop where this enemy has its own timer going and this enemy has its own timer going, and that's just kind of how it's working. So if I'm only applying it to a single enemy, or in that way, then yes, it will work. It just kind of depends on how many enemies you're trying to monitor at one time. If you're going to be monitoring multiple, it's better to run it on a tick, because then you can monitor them all at the time they're supposed to be monitored and not, on specific intervals constantly, I don't know if that makes perfect sense. Modifier base. Actually, I want one for grabbed and dropped. Hold on. Let me see here. Where's my physics grab component? Physics grab. That's the original one. I think I remember I moved it. There it is. So, hold on. I think I was using the fire event on the weapons. Let me see here. Yeah, so I'd want to use the event dispatcher. So, cast to weapon. Ooh. Bind event to fire event. Okay, so we'll go and create an event here. create a matching function there. Weapon fire. And then I may need to add some more later on for like a grab and release sort of scenario. But for now we're going to leave that alone. We'll call artifact base elemental. Artifact base modifier. There we go. And we can add on a sphere. Modifier. Add. Modifier base. Okay, and this one I actually don't need a specific, at least I don't think so. Actually, it occurs to me, why did I do that for a reason? I guess I really didn't. I didn't need to have a whole function just for adding on a component. Weapon. Add component. Here. Add component by class. Add it to that. That. Destroy actor. I kind of overdid this a bit, I think, here and there. Okay, that'll work there. Okay, so we'll bind that to weapon fire. I'll just worry about the fire event. I may want to have additional ones for, like, on grab and release. Like, maybe you can throw weapons at enemies and it'll modify it in some way or something like that. But I think for now I'm going to leave it like that. And actually it occurs to me, in the weapons, I actually don't really need this right now. Weapon float start and weapon float end. I may need those again later, but for now I actually don't need those. Because this was going off the idea that all the different weapons were going to spawn everywhere within the base. So I'm going to be changing the way that works. It's not the case as much anymore. And actually, I'm going to change this too. I'm going to add in another thing in the modifiers and the effects. So that way I can also bind them to specific types of weapons. That's the wrong thing. I need it in the artifacts. Class is child of. I forgot to destroy that too. Destroy actor. Let's see. Class requirements. And this is going to be a weapon base. Is that what I called it? Weapon base? Or is it base weapon? Did I just call it weapon? I just called it weapon. Weapon. Weapon class. Branch. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that this just has a standard starting point. There we go. Same thing for the artifact base modifier. Class requirements. Weapon. Hold on. God dang it. Weapon. Class. Get class. Is child of. There. So now I can specifically say that needs to be bound to like a melee weapon or a ranged weapon or something like that. Sounds good, Combined Potato. You have a good one, all right? Definitely will. You have a good one. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So let's see here. Did I break this at some point? I swear this was working. Hold on. Okay, no, it is working. I moved it to a try grab function. That's why. Okay. I'm gonna remove a bunch of this. I didn't realize I had a bunch of mess here. Trying to clean up where I can. Alright, so it should work. So if I create one. So let's say I were to take the ranged base, right? I wonder if I'm gonna have to put this all into like a single one or something like that. Okay. No, I think that'll work fine. So I have an elemental one that I'll be able to test. The modifier should work fine. It's basically the same thing as the elemental stuff. I'll just have to check it to make sure it works when I go to export to the Quest 2. So that should be pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Cool. Yeah, I think that'll actually work really well. Yeah, I'm liking this. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's making small bits of progress, and I'm liking it. All right. Cool. I might have to keep this stream somewhat short today just because I ended up starting this much later than I wanted to. I have other things I have to go do eventually, but I do want to work a little bit on the dungeon generation since I've got all this going. So all this is basically set and ready to go. All I really need to do is just have a bunch of different room variations that I can use. So that being said, let's go ahead and make one real quick. Because unfortunately, there's not much more I can do with the elemental stuff until I, test it. So we'll go and do some of this. So let's do, I'm going to create a new variation off this. Room. Call this room 01. Okay, so on this one, so the way I set this up is basically it'll just grab all the arrow components every time it spawns, and it uses all those in order to figure out where all the exits are, which is very straightforward, very simple. Ooh. That's weird. How did that end up? Oh, you know what? I think it's 1,000, not 100. There we go. And then all I do is I just face the arrow in the direction where the doorway leads out. And actually, that reminds me, I need to make sure that these are all hidden in game. Let me do this real quick. Just so I can keep messing around with this as it is. Where is... I don't have it open. Hold on. I still needed that open. Because I don't want to see the arrows, and I have them set to not hidden in game. Rather than going through all of them, I am just going to set them to hidden in game. Instruction script. For each. Also set actor. Ooh, set hidden. Ooh, in game. To true. I don't need to propagate to children, so that's fine. Cool. So that way I won't see the arrows. And I can just come back in and take that out whenever I need to. I probably need to set up like a debug thing. But, oh well. 0. We'll do 1,000. So 270. Okay, and then we just duplicate that. It's going to be 90. That's just going to be 1,000. Perfect. All right. Now we just come right on over here. And the thing I like about this, I'll actually be able to have walls with some detail to them and not just flat surfaces, because I really didn't like that. It works, but I really didn't like it. So we'll do a combination of room start and room 01. Room start. Perfect. We'll see how that looks. Oh, nice. Okay. Kind of worked. Oh, you know what? I disabled the despawning on the plugs. What is this? Oh, you know what? I wonder if this is like an endpoint or something. Yeah, that's the end. Okay. Let's make sure. Okay, looks like we had a couple overlap over here. Looks like we also had a couple overlap over here. So I need to have it on the plugs so they will check for overlaps. Because I think I disabled that actually. No, I didn't. Wait, yeah, I did. I'm still checking for... Oh, wait, no, that's on the room base. Hold on, where's the plug? That's still running the begin play. Why is that? Okay, that's weird. I'll have to double check that in a second. And the overlaps. Why are they not triggering overlaps? Because it happened at a couple points, it looks like. So plug kind of makes sense to me because I kind of mess with the plug a lot because it's not really meant to do much. These ones. How did this one come about? Hold on. So it looks like... I wonder if I need to have like a random delay or something like that. So let's do this. Get stream, yeah, I did set the stream before. No, I didn't. Hold on, let's do this real quick. Construction script. We'll add that into the construction script so I can use that all over. I need to use streams as much as possible because once I start doing multiplayer, I'll basically need to pass the seed to all the different clients. So that way all the different clients can basically rebuild the exact same dungeon each time. And they're not like phasing through walls all the time or anything like that. Okay. Actually, I'll move all this back real quick. Okay. Stream. There's that. And then we will do random, not integer, float. Actually, I probably could just do a random float. It's supposed to be between 0 and 1, right? Yeah, it is. That'll work. Okay, so that should kind of stagger them. Ooh. So that way, hopefully I don't have those issues. Looks like that worked. Cool. Okay, hold on. We had one that didn't go. What kind of room is this? That's it. That's the start room. So that one didn't go for some reason. This one end? Yeah, this one's the end. This one also didn't plug itself up. Neither did that one. Oh, and this one overlapped. Hold on. Where did this one overlap at? How did that work? Why is there... Oh, you know what? It's probably because they're overlapping, huh? Okay, so hold on. Oh, you know what? I think I might see what happened. Yeah, I think I might see what happened. I think what may have happened... Maybe not. I think what may have happened is we may have had that these two spawned at roughly the same interval. It looks like it may have spawned... I think this one both spawned these two at the same time. Okay, let me do the plug real quick too. That doesn't need that. Let's go and try this again. See how that works. I think what I may need is I think I may need corridors and stuff that are different sizes. Because I think what part of what might be screwing me over right now too. Hello, Palmer. How you doing? I think part of what might be screwing me over too is just the fact that all of these are spaced very closely together just because I don't have very long corridors yet. Let me try something real quick. I'm going to do something. We're going to take the corridor. I'm going to increase this a bit. Okay, hold on. We want to increase the scale along the X. Do 5. Perfect. Okay. I mean, it worked a bit better. We had a lot less overlapping, it looks like. Looks like this one did. What? This is an end room. Yeah, the end rooms I did remove the overlap stuff. Oh, God. It's kind of fixed. I was trying to simplify it down a bit, which I guess I did, but I have a lot of fixing that needs to happen. Dude, this did it too. Oh no, this did it too. Oh, come on. Wait, how did these ones overlap? What the heck? Let me do something real quick. Hold on. Let's do something. I'm going to do plus 0.1. That way we never get 0. God dang it. Hold on. We're going to follow this very, very slowly. Oh, shoot. I wonder if maybe what I have to do is have it so that way they're advancing only one at a time. Yeah, I think I may need to adjust this a bit so that way they're all advancing just one at a time. So we just choose random one. Wait, what happened here? Oh, we had a couple that overlapped. Yeah, I was working on the elemental stuff. I'll need to export it to the Quest 2 to actually test it. I kind of broke ALVR, so I can't really do any testing on PC. Yeah, it's just not working. So, yeah, right now I think I've got the elemental stuff working. I just have to export it and test it here in a little bit. So I'm trying to see if I can get this generator working fine. I'm getting these weird overlaps. I think... this is a nightmare. Hold on. I think I may need to have like a starting thing. Oh, the generation, the PCG, it does work. However, it is not very it's not very well designed for dungeon generation. So I might revisit that later on, because I do have some ideas for maybe like outdoor cityscapes, and things like that. So I might end up revisiting that later on. I just realized I bumped my camera. So I might end up revisiting that later on for those generations. But for the dungeon, I'm trying to simplify it down a bit. And that's what I'm trying to do here. But yes, it does work on the Quest 2. I did test it and it does work just fine. I had like no performance hiccups or anything. It worked great. You know what? I think I might know why some of this is happening. on. Hold on. Oh, am I never calling this? That could be why. That could be why I keep having issues with the plugs. Although they should just be despawning, to be honest. Oh, you know what? I know why. Hold on. We're going to do something. I have an idea. No, that's going to cause issues too. God, this is such a pain in the butt. Okay. No, I have an idea. We're going to take... We're going to change the way that some of this is done. Box overlap actors. Get bounds, component bounds. There we go. It's the origin, and we're actually going to do this. We're going to multiply this to float 0.95 box extent make array. We'll do world static and world dynamic. I don't remember which it is, but it should be one of them. I can drop in actors to ignore, but I'm not going to yet. I can place that. Perfect. And then we can do the same thing in the plug as well. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try this. No, I don't know if this is going to work because I'm still not getting overlaps. Okay, hold on. I think I'm going to need to make a separate thing for this. Okay, I think that's working a bit better. Okay, the only issue we seem to be having now is with the plugs. The plugs are still not working correctly. Okay, so what I want to do is, I think I might partially know why this is happening. Hold on. I'm trying to think here for a second. Hold on. Let me actually... Wait, is it maybe just the base rooms that are not plugging? It is. Okay, no, it's working correctly then. At least these ones are. Yeah, because these are all the start rooms. I think if I recall, the start room just has 2. Yeah, the start room just has 2. Okay, so no, that's working correctly. So all of the rooms are supposed to be filling and all the gaps are. I'm imagining that one of these is the end. This one maybe? Yeah, that one's the end. Perfect. So then the only issue we're having is that the is with this. Actually, I have an idea for that. If I take this, not that, the plug, minus, if I move this down maybe like 20, actually let's do 50. I think that'll actually fix that. I'm going to do the same thing as well here. Minus 50. I think that'll work. Okay, maybe that didn't work. Now the plugs aren't spawning at all. Okay, never mind. Let's undo that. That did not work. Oh, this one I think actually spawned fine. Oh, nope, it didn't. Right here. Let's see, maybe for the plugs it has to stay without the 0.95. Maybe that one needs to be perfectly fine like that. Let me see if I just set that to 1. See what that does. No. Let me do this then. We'll do this. Multiply. We'll do 0.95 on those. And then we'll do 1.1. And just to be sure, I'm going to draw debug blocks. Center. That's supposed to be the extent. These all red. No difference in rotation. We'll do duration of 60, thickness of 20, and then we can have to really see how it's colliding. Is this still colliding? Let me decrease that more. 0.9. Wait. Did I do this backwards? No, I didn't. What the heck? I need to see what this is colliding with. I don't understand what it's overlapping with. Oh, is it hitting itself? Make array self. Hold on. I think it's hitting itself. Just make sure too. I'm also going to remove this. Self. Okay, now it's working correctly. Cool. Is this one the start one? Yes, it is. Cool. No overlapping rooms. Looks like they're all spawned in correctly. All the necessary holes are plugged. That one's a start room. Is this one a start room? Yes, it is. Is this one? Yup. Start, end. Am I using the same string, by the way? Or the same seed? Where's my seed at? I am. I'm using a predetermined seed. Hold on. Oh, that's why, because I moved it to the construction script. I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, that's gonna have to be moved to begin play. I'd forgotten about that. Hold on. What is this? I had completely forgotten that that is the case. If you're gonna randomize things, you have to do it in begin play. If you do it in the construction script, it does weird things. Because it'll basically, the construction script only runs once it's placed into the room. So if you're trying to regenerate a seed, it'll only run once, either when the world starts, or it will simply run. In editor here, it basically only runs like this one time. Okay. Corridors look like they're still an issue. Looks like the corridors are doing something weird. Yeah. Okay, yeah, the corridors are not lining up correctly too, it looks like. I think these may need to be like a half size, not a full size. I think if I were to decrease these sizes just a bit, it might work a little better. Let me see here. I'm also going to have to make sure all these are two-sided. Just to make sure there's no holes or anything left. If we go into the corridor. Actually, if I do this, this might actually help. Check overlap. Multiply 0.95. And that goes into the box extent. Perfect. Actually, the plug, I can remove this too. Can also remove this and these. Cool. Okay, and that should actually fix the corridor issue I was having. I'm going to try changing the scale on these as well. So if I jump into here, if I change these to maybe 4.5. See if that works a little better. See if that lines up. I think it's either going to be that or it's going to be like 4.75. Oh, no, that works. Perfect. So if I just set the walls to be two-sided, I think that'll work fine. Let me see here. Blueprints. Not blueprints. Materials. Color materials, medieval. If I go into the wall and just... Oh. Hold on. Can I not just make it two-sided here? Hold on. Oh, I can. Perfect. That. There we go. I think this might be doing something weird though. Hold on. Yeah, it's doing some weird clipping. That's what I was worried about. Oh, did not mean to smack that. Okay, so that's going to be a bit of an issue I'm going to have to work out. Because that causes a weird issue, especially when corridors line up here, like at corners or something like that. It's going to create a weird issue. Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. I don't know why I didn't think about this. Do 5.5. Well, that's going to fix that right up. Hold on. Mostly. It mostly fixed it up. It mostly fixed it up. I see there's one spot where it bugged out, and I saw it happening too because there was a room that temporarily spawned in right here. And that was the only reason that this one didn't work. Okay. Oh man, no, that's still going to cause issues here where they overlap. I wonder if what I need to do is have it so that way the plugs can basically take the place of the last thing. I think what I may need to do is basically keep track of wherever it was connected to. Or maybe I need to like attach the plugs and kind of push them out or something like that. What the heck just fell? What was that? It was the weapon? Oh. What the? Oh. I think the AI had a bit of a falling out and ended up knocking the weapon over the edge of the world. I haven't had that happen yet. At least not that I've noticed. Okay, so it mostly works all right. I need to figure out some way to make some of these... I don't want to make them all two-sided, though, because then that's going to cause weird clipping issues, too. That's part of the problem. I wonder if maybe I need to space them out just a little bit more. Like, maybe it needs to be, like, a fraction of a percentage further out or something like that. Or maybe I need to have it so that way rooms spawn corridors and then corridors spawn rooms. Like some way like that. Because that's something I could do. I kind of already have that in place. Let me see how that ends up looking. Let me see. I can actually do that real quick. Try door. Here we go. So we can have it. This will spawn a corridor. Which is here. See how this ends up looking. That's the start. I mean, it does end up working. Because eventually I'm also going to have like corner pieces as well. So, I mean, that does technically work. Let me also see this too. I want to see how far apart do I scale these? Because I want to make sure I can duplicate this. Okay, so if I range it out about an extra meter, that'll work fine. I think that may be what I have to do. Maybe I have to do like rooms go into corridors and then corridors go into rooms. That might also leave a bit of a break for players as well, which might not be so bad. I might have to think about that. It'll also make this look a lot less predictable once I start adding in corner pieces and things like that too. Because what I'm thinking about doing is having basically an angle piece, right? So I can have an angle piece. And then maybe I'll even have like a 3 direction piece and even a 4 or something like that. And then what I may even have to do, I have an idea for some of these, like some of these spaces where I'm going to have doors. And the reason for that is I want to basically have, because this is going to end up with like a lot of one directional paths. I want to basically have like teleportation points around the map. And so I'm basically going to have them as like doorways is what I'm thinking right now. I may even see if I can come up with something that looks a little better, but that's what I'm thinking for the time being. Yeah, this at least works for now. I like this a lot better. It's working out a lot better. I started adding things in here too, Because I eventually I'm also going to have like tables and chairs and weapons and enemies and all that kind of stuff. So this will end up working out a lot better. I will have to figure out how to remix this for cityscapes, or I will have to, like I said, I'll have to play around with the PCG component, because at least I know that works too. So that'll look really cool. All right. So I'm going to have to end off the stream a little bit early. I did, unfortunately, start it a lot later than I wanted to today. But I feel like this was very, this was a very good day. A lot of things were done. I'll have to test the elemental stuff. I'm definitely going to see if I can't post that on like Instagram and Twitter and things like that. So if you guys want to see how all this ends up looking, be sure to follow me over there so that way you guys can see that. I'm also going to be... I said this at the beginning of the stream. I've been playing around with Arch on my laptop. Arch works great with ALVR, at least as far as I've tested. So I'm thinking I may give that a shot and see if I can't, like, overnight tonight, basically rebuild Unreal Engine and all that. I do run, like, a lot of Docker containers for, like, my media server and things like that, so that might be a bit messy. So, but I'm thinking I may end up doing that as well, switching over to Arch. That way I can start testing on the computer again. I can start doing that during live streams. Because I've missed doing that over live streams. I like being able to actually test during and not having to port it out to Quest and then have to test it. It's really annoying. I'm also planning on finally ordering that replacement index controller, because I should finally have the money for that soon. Hopefully. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and end off the stream here. I appreciate you guys for joining me, those of you who did. If you guys want to, I will be doing a stream next week. I'm going to see if I can't sneak one in tomorrow as well. I might have a little bit of time tomorrow morning, but I'm a little undecided about that, so we'll see. But I hope you guys can at least join me next week if you guys want to do that. I'm going to be working on this a lot more. I'm going to be putting together more pieces for the generator, so that way it can start looking a lot more unique and all that. And I'm also going to be working on all the different elemental stuff and adding those in, all that. So, yeah. Hopefully by this next stream, it's starting to look much more like a proper game with everything working correctly. And then I could start getting to all the tweaking. If this ends up turning out as well as I hope, I'm actually going to be pushing this as an update to Itch and Side Quest, which will be awesome. I'll finally be able to start working on all the interiors and everything. Start working solely on design, which will be awesome. So yeah, thank you guys for joining, and I hope you guys have a good day, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you guys are, and have a good one, guys.